All right, hello everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us today for our 3D Event Designer webinar, Event Planning Software Made Simple. I'm Michael McClune, one of the co-founders of Events Click and our 3D Event Designer software. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. Everyone is currently placed on mute and will remain so during the course of the webinar. Should you have any questions, please type them into the chat box you see at the bottom of your screen, and I'll be sure to address it either during the webinar or at the end during Q&A. So let's go ahead and start. Today in this webinar, I'm going to introduce all of you to our new 3D Event Designer. For those of you that are new, we'll start out with a quick overview of what the 3D Event Designer is, and then go into a live demo showing the 3D Event Designer in use and many of its new features, including how to upload floor plans and trace over them to get started more quickly, how to view floor plans on mobile devices with the panoramic 3D view, the new items we have added to our product catalog, our all-new floor plan templates gallery, how to change the color of all the items in a floor plan at one time, and how you can see through windows and window doors to create even more realistic floor plans. So what is 3D Event Designer? For those of you that are either new to SEPA or this is your first time hearing about Events Click, our 3D Event Designer is a web-based tool that allows event professionals to easily plan, design, and visualize in 3D any type of event online. So what exactly does that mean? It means you can easily create event floor plans in a 2D view, click a button, and walk through the floor plan in 3D. And you can even email it to your clients and vendors so they can get that same interactive experience. It also allows you to create detailed buffet setups and seating charts. So enough about the background, let's dive into this live demo. All right, so here's where you're taken when you log into our new 3D Event Designer. We will obviously go ahead and click on Create a New Project. Here you basically have three tabs that you start with. The first one is Start from Scratch, which is exactly that. You'll be starting with a blank room. The second one is choose a template. So this is what I kind of mentioned before, our all new floor plan templates gallery. We basically have created a bunch of templates to help you get a jump start on your event. There's no reason that you need to use these, just you can if you'd like. You can filter it over here by this drop down. You can start with a room that's already that already has products in there and then rearrange the products or whatever you'd like. Let's go back to the beginning screen. And then the third tab is open a saved project. That's basically, obviously, opening projects you've already created. For this demo, let's go ahead and use the Start from Scratch. We'll go ahead and label the project. Let's just label it Test. All right. Let me reload that. Actually, when you go into our 3D Event Designer for the beginning, you'll notice that there's about a 3.5-minute video. It's a quick overview of all the features of our software and how to do them. We also have about 10 YouTube tutorial videos that breaks this video out into sections that you can view as well. So you'll always be starting with a blank room. With this room, you can obviously resize the walls if you would like by clicking on the walls, dragging them to whatever dimension you'd like, or clicking on the corners and dragging them this way. I always suggest, for ease of use, to just delete this room and start with a blank, empty canvas. To delete rooms, first you're going to click on the square footage button right here. A right dialog will pop up, and you'll notice that it says delete. So we'll go ahead and press on delete, and then we'll click on each wall and delete each wall. So here we are. We started with a blank screen. This is always, I believe, the easiest way to start. Like I mentioned, with this new version, you are able to upload floor plans and trace over them to get started very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a floor plan real quick. All right, we'll click on upload. And let's zoom out. These tools up here, this is zoom in, zoom out right here. We'll go ahead and zoom out. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press this lock button. You'll notice the lock icon, lock, unlock. Basically what this does is it locks it to the grid so that it doesn't move around while you're tracing over it. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and click on scale. Scale, basically, you're going to tell the system the dimension of one of the walls so that the system knows how to scale the photo that you uploaded correctly. A little pop-up video will appear showing you how to do it in case you ever forget, but it's as simple as just drawing a line. So for example, I will click here, trace down to the other side of the wall, click again, and then I tell the system what this dimension is. For example, if this wall is 50 feet, go ahead and put in 50, press OK. And now the system scales it so that all the walls are the correct length. You tell it what this side is, 50, and it automatically will know what all the other walls are. From here, this is where we're going to start tracing over the lines. We'll go back to the Build tab. The Build tab is where you create your room, where you have all your drawing materials. We'll go ahead and click on Exterior, and then we start tracing over. So we'll start at this corner, click, trace your mouse, click again. Whoops. Let me start over. I zoomed in too close. Ran out of room. Here we go. So I'll click on Exterior, start tracing, and once you close it off, it automatically creates the room for you. Again, if you need to edit any of the dimensions, like I showed you before, you can click on a wall, move it, or you can click on a handle and move it again. So let's go ahead and make this a little more even. There we go. Once you create your room, you can edit the flooring material or color, the ceiling texture color, and the walls texture color. To do that, you'll notice, let's zoom in on our floor plan. Inside every room, you will have this little square footage button right here. If you click on that square footage button, a little boundary pop-up will pop up in the right-hand corner. This allows you to label your room. So for example, if I want to label it main ballroom, it also allows you to change the height of the ceiling to whatever you'd like, and then the ceiling and the floor texture. First, you'll notice a little eye icon next to the ceiling and floor. You'll notice this eye icon throughout our system. It always serves as the same purpose. It's basically to make visible or invisible. So if I were to click on floor, hides the floor, I can bring it back. Same thing for the ceiling. You won't notice in a 2D view, but in a 3D view, you would notice that the ceiling either goes away or comes back. Zoom out here. Changing the texture and the color of the flooring or the ceiling. So for example, if I wanted to change this flooring to carpet, we'll go ahead and click on Floor Material. Another pop-up will come up with a drop-down right here of all our different categories. We can go down to Carpet. I can select which type of carpet I'd like. For example, if I wanted this one, and then I can change the color as well. We have a little slider right here where you can change the color. If you're familiar with hex color codes, or if you just want to Google them, you can also change it by doing that as well. Then you go ahead and click on Apply, and it will change it in both 2D and the 3D. Let's go into the 3D and show you that as well. That is the same process for the ceilings. You would again click on the square footage button and do the same process for ceilings. For the walls, it's a little different, but pretty much the same. For the walls, you just have to click on the wall. So for example, we'll go ahead and click on this wall. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the wall a little bit. When I click on the wall, first I can change the thickness of it to whatever I'd like. Let's go ahead and go down to material left and material right. Material left and material right basically means you can change either the inside of the wall or the outside of the wall, the textures and the colors. You'll notice when I go material left or material right, a little gray bar will show you which one that pertains to. So for example, material right here, it's on the inside of the wall. So we'll go ahead and click on material right. Again, the same type of pop-up will come up with a drop-down. And now, for example, if I wanted to change this to brick, we can go ahead and click on brick. Change it to whatever brick I'd like, click Apply. Again, you can change the color, click Apply, and now I'll show you that in the 3D view. And again, I can do that for every wall and change it to whatever texture or color I'd like. All right. So after you kind of make the venue what it's supposed to be, the correct colors and textures, that's basically when you'd obviously start dragging in doors, windows, that stuff. So we'll go down to the Furnish tab. This is where all of our products are located. Furnish tab, drop down right here with all of our product categories. So we'll go down to doors, windows, and stairs. You'll notice we have windows, doors, stairs. A great feature about this new version is that our windows you can see through. So for example, if you have an outdoor area, you will be able to see through the window to your outdoor area. Or if you have two rooms connected, you will be able to see through to that next room. So let me show you an example for that. For all of our products, it's all the same type of user interface. It's all drag and drop user interface. So if I wanted to drag in, for example, a window, just go ahead and click on the window, and then I click where I want it in my floor plan. So let's go click right here. Go into the 3D walk and see how that looks. So you'll notice I can see through to the outside. Let's go back in the 2D view and let's drag in a door. Same thing goes for doors. For example, if I were to drag in, let's see, this glass door. Let's drag in a glass door. For doors and windows, you'll notice that they kind of snap onto the wall for you. So if I move it close to here and let go of my mouse, it's going to snap onto the wall for you to make it pretty easy to apply it to the wall. Let's go into the 3D view. And as you can see, I can see through. So if I had another outdoor space, I'd be able to see that outdoor space. Another room, I'd be able to see through to that new room. So it's a pretty nifty new feature. All right. Couple more features in the Build tab. Under Annotation Tools, you'll notice a few things. First is what we call our Dimension tool. In this version, you're able to, what this does basically is, let me drag in a product real quick. Let me drag in, for example, a chair. And if I wanted to know the distance from this chair to this wall, I can take our Dimension tool, click, drag, click again, and it will tell me, okay, this is 8 feet 6 inches from the wall. I can use this dimension tool as many times as I like. I can also delete it later if I don't want it to show up when I go and send it to a client or print it off. The second one is our notes. You are now able to take notes anywhere on the floor plan. So for example, go ahead and click on the notes button. Click, drag, make a rectangle, square, whatever you'd like. Go ahead and click into it. Little boundary pop-up will come up where you take notes. You'll be able to change the text size so that you can read it. You can change the text color, background color, the opacity. You can pretty much customize it any way you'd like. You can move it around later if you would like. Make it bigger, smaller. Another great feature is the ability to drag an arrow to what this pertains to. So for example, if this note was going towards this chair, I can take that and drag an arrow to that chair. Again, I can delete these later if I don't want these to show up on my final floor plan. All right, let's go down to visibility options. First is furniture. So for example, if I click on this, uncheck it, it's going to hide all the furniture in my floor plan. The furniture is still there. It's just hidden right now in case I want to hide it to be able to see the floor plan a little better. I can always bring it back by clicking it on it again. Room labels does the same thing, but for the square footage. So you'll notice that the square footage right here, I can hide. 1 second, sorry. And then floor visibility. Floor visibility allows me to hide the floor. Very similar to what you can do by using the eye icon. You can also do it by using this slider right here. So this comes into play, for example, when you'll notice that I have this floor plan right here. If this floor plan shows columns right here or something like that, and I want to be able to see where exactly I need to put my columns or my doors or anything, I can hide the floor so that I can see through to this. Let's go ahead and bring this back. That pretty much brings it up for the Build tab. Let's go down to the Furnish tab now. Furnish tab, again, is where all of our products are located. You can find them, all the categories, obviously, in this drop-down. We have about close to 600 products now. We've added about 100 to 150 in the last month and a half, and we will be adding more in the future as well. Since this is web-based software, all updates are done complimentary, and every time you log in, you have our latest products, our latest features, our latest releases. So for our products, like I mentioned, it's all drag and drop user interface. Great thing about our system is that pretty much all of our products are customizable in terms of color and dimensions. So for example, this banquet chair that I dragged in here, I can go ahead and click on the banquet chair. Anytime I click on a product, a pop-up will come up in the right-hand side, just like everywhere else in our system. Let's go ahead. Actually, I'm going to drag in a table actually, so I can show you the seating chart feature as well. So let's drag in a table. Let's drag in this preset table, 72-inch preset table. When I click on the table again, the pop-up comes up. First, I can label it. So for example, if I wanted to do a seating chart, I can put this as head table. And I'll show you that in a second where that comes into play. Dimensions, like I said, you can change the dimensions of all of our products if you'd like. Position, distance from floor. You can specify what the distance from floor is. So for example, if you're dealing with a centerpiece and you want it, if the table you're using is, for example, 3 feet, you can specify, okay, that centerpiece is going to be 3 feet off the floor so that it is resting on the top of the table. Rotation. Rotation allows you to rotate the product. There's a few ways to rotate the product. You'll notice if I zoom in on a product, I can also rotate it using this rotation tool right here. I can also use our, this doesn't rotate the product. These arrows actually flip the product. So for example, if I wanted to flip it forward or backwards, it doesn't really pertain to this item since it's symmetrical. But that would work, for example, for doorways. If I wanted doorways to open a separate way, I can click on this arrow and it's going to flip it this way, or I can click on this arrow and it's going to flip it that way. That brings us to subparts materials. Materials is the same thing as what I showed you with the ceiling, the floor, and the wall texture color. This allows you to change the color of the product. So you'll notice this for this particular item where we have table linen and we also have seat cushion and chair. I will be able to click on this drop down and I can change the color of the chair or the color of the linen and cushions. Changing the color is the same way as we did it with the flooring and stuff like that. Is one, you can either do hex color codes if you want to Google, hex color code of whatever, brown, red, whatever. In other ways, we have a few right here that are preset. We'll be adding more. Basically, all the standard colors we'll be adding here that you can just click on. You can also obviously use the slider scale and change it this way as well. So let's go ahead and click here for the chair, and let's change the linen and cushion to this. Oops, not the same color. Click apply. It now changes it in both 2D and 3D. Let's go ahead and let this load. And there you go. Great new feature of this software, of this new update, is the ability to change the colors of all the same items in the floor plan. So before, for example, if I had multiple of these, so for example, let's go ahead and click on the copy button. The copy button does exactly that. It copies the item. If I had, for example, 3 of these in here, and later I found out that I wanted to change the color of all of these to something else, before I'd have to physically click on each one and change the color, and it was pretty time consuming. What we've done now is you're able to click on one of them, click on materials, and you'll notice this apply to same items button. So for example, let's go ahead and change this. Click apply to same, click apply, and it changes it for all of them. And that works for all of our products throughout our system, not just tables and chairs. So the copy button that I just showed you, like I said, it copies the product so that it's very easy to put in 10, 20, 30 sets of these tables and chairs or whatever product it is. We also have what we call a group selection button. The group selection button allows you to copy multiple items at once so that I can then get multiples of 3 or of 6. I can copy these again. To copy this again, you'll notice that I have to ungroup it first. So let's go ahead and click on this group, click ungroup, it ungroups them all. Now I can go ahead and copy this group of 6. And so you can see I can get to 20, 30, 100 very quickly. You'll notice that I'm also able to rotate all these products at the same time as well using the rotation tool right here. So let's go ahead and delete these. Furnish tab, let's see here. So seating chart, let's go back to the seating chart. I didn't show that. Let's go ahead and delete these. Let me go ahead and drag in a blank table and chair again. So like I said, when you click on our tables and chairs, you're able to label them. So let's label this head table. You'll notice next to this label field, I have our notes button. I can go ahead and click on notes, and here is where I can put everyone who's sitting at this table along with any notes that apply to that person. So for example, I can get as detailed and put meal of choice if I would like. Go ahead and click on apply. Where this comes into play is our inventory button. Once you're done with your layout, if you go ahead and click on inventory, what gets auto-generated for you is an itemized list of everything you've dragged into your workspace along with the quantity. And then secondly is our seating chart. So for example, it showed head table and it showed everyone who I put at the table along with their meal of choice. Again, if you have multiple tables, all of them will show up here along with everyone that you've put at those tables. So this you can obviously print out or send as a PDF. So it's very, very easy to do and very handy. So I think that's it for the Furnish tab. Again, all of our products, like I said, it's all a drag and drop user interface. It doesn't matter what product it is. If it's lounge furniture, I can go ahead and click it, drag it in. It's now in my workspace in both 2D and 3D. So background tab, we already went over. That's to upload a floor plan and trace over it. So let's go skip down to album tab. Album tab is where you take snapshots of your plan to either print out or view on mobile devices. So like we mentioned, in this new update, you're able to view your floor plan in either 2D or panoramic 3D on mobile devices, on iPhones, on iPads, Android devices, it doesn't matter. So you'll notice when I'm in the 2D view that I can take a snapshot of the plan. What this does is it takes a picture of it in 2D. After I click save, a little thumbnail will show up right here. I can go ahead and double click on this, and it's going to have its own unique URL code. This URL I can share with clients, team members, whatever, and they can go to this URL on their mobile device and see this 2D view of your event. I can also do that with the 3D view. So if I go into the 3D walk view, I have two different photos that I can take. First one is a standard photo, second one is a panoramic snapshot. The standard photo, what that means is it's going to take a picture of exactly what you see on your screen. Panoramic snapshot is going to take a 360-degree image. So let's go ahead and do it so I can show you. So let's go ahead and save that. So what this took is it took 360 degrees every which way. So let's go ahead and click on this. And as you can see, I now have 360-degree panoramic image that I can share this unique URL with my client or team member or myself, and I can open it up on my iPad, iPhone, whatever, and now I can view my event in 3D on my mobile device. Now you can take as many snapshots as you'd like. So for example, if you have a really large event and you want to take a snapshot from one side of the event, I can take a snapshot from over here, get a 360-degree view from this angle, and take another snapshot from over here and take another 360-degree snapshot. These can also be printed out or saved as PDFs. So for example, if I click on them, I can just simply click File, Print print it out. You can specify what size sheet of paper you want to print it on, if you want to print it on landscape or portrait. And then obviously when you're in that print field, you also have the option of saving it as a PDF and sending it to clients that way as well. The other way of sharing your floor plan obviously is sharing this URL. So before, when you would share floor plans in our previous version, you'd have to click on a button that says share by email and then copy that URL code. Now all you have to do is copy the URL that you see up here and share that with your client or team member, and they will be able to open it up on their computer in their web browser in both 2D and 3D and walk around the room and see exactly what you see and what you created. 3D Global, this is something that we added in this new version. 3D Global is kind of a bird's eye view that you can zoom in and out with your scroll wheel, and you can also view it from any type of angle that you want. So for example, I can go down to eye level and view it from here. I can also zoom up and view it from a bird's eye view, still in 3D. Moving around is obviously with your arrow keys, just like it is in the 3D walk. All right, let's go back to 2D view. So that covers the album tab. Last tab is our notes tab. Our notes tab does not get printed out or anything like that. This is just a little handy tab for you that you can take notes. For example, you can put the timeline of the event here, whatever you'd like. This doesn't get printed out or anything like that. It's just a little handy thing for you to have. Let's see here. Let's go over some of these tools. I've already gone over a couple of them. This little back arrow tool is our undo button. Our undo button does exactly that. It does your last action, it will undo it. So for example, I just undid that product that I dragged in. The second one is the group selection, which I've already showed you guys. That is to group items and duplicate them. Third and fourth are our zoom in and zoom out. You can also zoom in and zoom out with the scroll wheel on your mouse if you have one. So for example, I have one and I can zoom in and out that way. Over here, these little arrows are to center your floor plan. So for example, if you're working on a really big floor plan and you've gone really far out into your grid and you just want to zoom everything so that your floor plan is centered, you can go ahead and click on this at any time and it's going to zoom it all back. This last one, center camera, it does exactly that. It centers your camera. Your camera basically is, your camera shows you where you're going to be viewing the 3D once you click on the 3D walk or 3D global. So for example, if I go ahead and click on 3D walk, you'll notice that I'll be viewing this table. Now obviously I can move around the room with my arrow keys and get a different view. But again, if you have a really big floor plan and you don't want to take 20 seconds to get to the other side of the room, you can just go ahead and move your camera button. Let's go ahead and click on this camera button and move it to whatever view you want to be viewing when you first go into that 3D walk. And then the last button is our videos button. This will bring back the overview video of 3.5 minutes. All of our other videos are on our homepage. You'll see a video tutorial tab that brings up the 10 or so YouTube tutorial videos that kind of break out every single part that I've just gone over in this webinar. I believe that pretty much covers most of the stuff. Let's see here. Fill tab, background. Let's go over how to create an outdoor space. I've gone over indoor spaces. Let's go ahead and go over outdoor space real quick before I open this up for questions. Outdoor space, you would use this, what we call our invisible boundary. It's the same process as our indoor spaces. I click, drag, create the shape that I want. You'll notice that when I go into the 3D view, by default, the ceiling is on. So let's go ahead in 3D. Let's go outside. You'll notice that I have my outdoor space. You'll notice by default, the ceiling is there. I can get rid of this ceiling by, again, clicking on the square footage, hide ceiling, and now it's going to hide the ceiling, so I just have my outdoor space. Again, to change this, for example, to grass, we'll click on the square footage, click for material, go down to the category of outdoor, click on grass, and now I have my grass outdoor space. So it's basically the same way of creating an indoor space. So I believe that wraps it up. Let's go ahead and open this up for questions if any of you guys have questions. Let's see here. Go to attendees. Let's see here. Guess I have to unmute everyone one by one. You guys can also type in questions down here at the bottom if you would like. Are you able, let's go over the questions down here at the bottom first before I unmute everyone. Are you able to share a link for the 3D Global? Yes, so sharing this link shares the link of your floor plan. So when you share this link, for example, if I go ahead and copy this link and I paste it in a new tab, it's going to open it up by default into the 2D tab, and then your recipient can click on either 3D Walk or 3D Global. So it's all the same link.
Cool.
Is there a way to insert a stage or dance floor? Yes, so let's go over that real quick. So stage and dance floor, it's the same way as all of our other products. For example, let's go down to, I believe staging is under flooring. So we'll go to the flooring tab. Let's click on our dance floor, drag it in. Again, just like with all of our other products, you can change the dimensions of it or the color. And dance floors, I believe, are under entertainment. Sorry, staging, I believe staging is under staging. Let's go ahead and drag in one of these stages, and now we have our dance floor and our stage. Again, stage, you can change the dimensions and the color. We have access to software as students. Yes, you guys have access to this software. It is complimentary for you guys while you are students, and we can go over, or I guess the head of SEPA can go over how you guys sign up. But yes, you do have access as students. How can I sign up for an account? I believe Aubrey can actually answer that. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so Aubrey can answer this. So let me go ahead and unmute her. Oh, she's unmuted. Can you hear me, Aubrey?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, perfect. Do you want to go over how these students can sign up?
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you, Michael, so much for the thorough presentation. I'm really, really excited that you took the time out. We appreciate it so much to educate our members on this platform, because I knew that once they understood what it was and how to use it, that they would want access to it, which they have had all along.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. To answer our members' questions, you guys have had access to this all along. If you are a member of SEPA, a paid member of SEPA, you do have access to Events Click. So the password to the member portal on the Student Event Planners Association website, if you go to the SEPA website and scroll to the bottom of the page, you have the member login, which is going to prompt you for a password. Once you get into the member portal and you scroll down to the Educational Resources section, you will see a link to the Events Click website, but more specifically to the page where SEPA members can log into the Events Click website. And next to that link is the password, all right, to access it. So as long as you're a member of SEPA, you have access to this particular platform. Was I clear in explaining that? Does everyone understand?
Perfect.
Okay. Further to that, guys, we also, just like we did last semester, we do want to have a competition in conjunction with this training. So if you are on the call, and I believe, Michael, you've also recorded the call, so we'd love to disseminate that to our membership as well so we can reach more people. But we are going to be posting right after this call basically the guidelines for the competition that we're going to host. It's going to be due on May 31st if you'd like to participate in the competition, and what the prize for it will be is a free membership for the fall semester. Okay, so basically we're going to let you guys have all the creative freedom. The prompt for the event space that you're going to be designing is next year's end of the year banquet for your chapter. Okay, so one of the specifications is it is going to be buffet style, so you're going to need some food tables. You need to come up with a unique theme for the events. So all you have to do to submit your submission is to send us that link to your floor plan, okay, along with a short paragraph as to what the theme is for your event. Again, all of this will be specified in the Facebook post, so be sure to check that out if you want to participate.
Perfect.
Also, sorry, just to add to that, this would be great for your portfolio as well. So not just the competition, but an excellent resume/portfolio builder as well. Sorry about that.
No worries. Perfect. If anyone else has questions, we can leave this open for a couple more minutes. Go ahead and type your question, and I will go ahead and unmute you. If not, thank you guys very much for attending, and I hope you guys enjoy the software. If you guys have any questions, you guys will have my email address. It will be sent out to you. I will be the person you guys will be working with. If you ever need to get on a screen share and have me walk you through the software or something like that. But like I said, we do have about 10 YouTube tutorial videos that go over pretty much all of the features and how to do everything. So those will probably take care of most of your guys' questions.
Michael, could you speak really quickly to the real-life application of this platform, meaning how do event professionals actually utilize EventsClick? How would our students, when they become professionals, be able to have a leg up, so to speak, in the industry by having the knowledge of how to use this designer? Yeah.
Great question. So I'm actually going to use an email that I just received the other day from one of our clients. He's a new client that signed up a few weeks ago when we were presenting at Cater Source. He went to an event space. This was the first time he used our software, and he asked for a floor plan from the venue. He was given a floor plan that looked like basically a 2-year-old drew it. It was just in black and white. It wasn't to scale, anything like that. And he emailed me and he said, I got the dimensions from them, the correct dimensions, and I was able to, in your guys' software, put a real life 2-scale floor plan together and see exactly how many tables and chairs would fit in there. If I didn't have this software and I just went off of what they had given me as their 2D floor plan, it would have been a disaster because not all the tables and chairs would have fit in there, and obviously that would be a nightmare day of event. So that was a pretty sweet email that I received the other day. I mean, basically with this software, you're able to walk into a venue space, see exactly what it is, and you're able to show that in a 3D application to your client. And the wow factor that creates is great when a client is able to see exactly how their event is going to look, down to the correct colors, down to the correct types of chairs. It really will give you that one leg up when you're showing that versus what your peers are going to be showing. They're going to be showing, if they're not using our application, they're going to be showing, that 2D view in black and white of just, circles and squares and stuff like that. So really, this software will definitely give you that leg up and will definitely wow your clients.
Michael, one last thing, if it's readily available, just to kind of show them some of the pictures I absolutely love that EventsClick shares is kind of the actual event photo compared to the floor plan and how realistic it is. Do you have access to any of that you can
Yes,
maybe show them a couple
let me show
examples
you
of?
some of those. Let's go to our Facebook, actually, probably. Let's see, or our Twitter. Let me go to our Twitter real quick. I've posted a bunch of those on our Twitter, so let's see here.
especially the outside events as well. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very neat, and you can see kind of how detailed you really can get. So let's go ahead and look at these photos and videos. So this first one, which is actually pretty neat, this is actually a photo of our CEO's, my sister, wedding, which took place about a year ago. This is an event in Los Angeles. I don't have the side by side photo for that one, but let's go through some side by side ones that we have. So here we go. Here's a side by side one. Um, Here's an event that they had. They took a picture of it, and here's what was able to be created in our software of the outdoor space. As you can see, it's fairly identical. We can put it in the water just by using our outdoor space feature. Here's another outdoor one. As you can see, fairly identical. Go down to I got a few more. Here we go. Here's another outdoor one. So being able to show your client this first, you can see there's not going to be too many surprises for them. They're going to know what to expect. They know what things look like, what colors are, where things are placed, and that just is going to be obviously great for your client. Here's another one. Here's an indoor one that I created. As you can see, I was able to match the exact colors, the table linens, the banquet chairs, even the windows out here, just to give that that realistic look of the actual venue. So as you can see, you can get pretty accurate with our software and really show your client exactly what it's going to look like. Let's see here. Any other questions, you guys? Let's see here. I do. Graduate board members have access. Okay, great question. So once you graduate, so obviously while you're a student, you have access to this complimentary. Once you graduate, let's go to our pricing tab. So let's go to our home page. Let's see here, pricing. So our pricing tab, we have a few different pricing options, really to make it extremely affordable for you. We have a plan that starts at $9.95 a month. These are all month-to-month basis. You can also purchase yearly, but our month-to-month basis, you can cancel anytime. You can put your account on hold. If there's a month that you're not going to have an event and you don't want to pay for it, you can put your account on hold and not worry about losing any floor plans. Your floor plans will stay. Your account's just on hold. Once you sign back up, you have your floor plans that you created. So basically, the different pricing structure, they all have unlimited use to our software. We don't restrict you in any way like that. The only difference is how many floor plans you're allowed to have saved at once. For example, our basic plan, which is $9.95 a month, allows you to have one floor plan saved at a time. You're allowed to edit that floor plan as many times as you want, and you can delete that floor plan and create a new one as many times as you want. You just won't be able to have two floor plans saved at once. Again, you get unlimited 2D and 3D views. We don't restrict you in any way like that. Next plan, the Select, allows you to have 4 floor plans at once, and the Pro is the unlimited one. We offer yearly, like I said, for our Select and our Pro. Basically, if you sign up for the year, we give you 2 months free. So pretty big incentive to sign up for the year. But again, you can always start out month to month and then change later if you'd like. All right, let's see here. Any other questions? Aubrey, would you like to say anything else? Or do you have any other questions?
I don't. Again, just wanted to thank you so much for taking the time, and also I hope everyone on the call also understands the value of this partnership that we have with Events Click. We are so grateful to them. So, you guys are just so amazing to be able to offer this service completely free to our members. It really just is incredible. So I hope everybody on the call sees the value of that, appreciates it. If you aren't already, please follow Events Click. I know you guys are on Facebook, you're on Twitter. What other social media sites are you on?
Right now, just those two. Pinterest,
okay.
Pinterest a little bit, but mainly Facebook and Twitter.
Brilliant. Definitely follow them. And again, as Michael mentioned, if you guys have any questions, you can definitely reach out to him. We'll make sure that we have that contact information available for your chapter leader should you have any questions. We will be sharing this recording internally through the member portal in case you want to reference back to it. I, again, will be posting the information for the competition shortly, and definitely want you guys to get creative. All right? Utilize this platform, get in there and play around while you have the opportunity to do that. And also, if you know of event venues in your area or something like that that you want to map out, or maybe you're interning with a particular company, show them what you guys can do on this platform. Okay, definitely hype up the 3D event designer and Events Click to people that you know and/or are working with. They're absolutely phenomenal, and I'm sure you guys see that now. So that's really awesome. And again, Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the kind words. We're very excited to see what kind of floor plans you guys can create. We'll definitely be looking out for those. Go ahead and post them on Twitter and Facebook and just tag
Of
us,
course.
and we can, obviously retweet and share them. But yeah, thank you guys very much for attending. Again, if you guys have any questions, you'll have my contact info, and we can definitely get those answered.
Brilliant. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Michael.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Bye.